Here's exactly what a day in my life as a corporate lawyer looks like. And on a typical day, I have a screen burn out my eyes for 12 to 15 hours a day. But today we're going on a business trip to Dubai. So see you there.
Welcome to Dubai. One of the cool things about being a corporate lawyer that you might not expect is all of the connections you make, because you advise people on very complex situations that typically are super important to them. So you either advise the shareholders, the CEO, the founder, and that's often in context with their ownership in the company, whether they sell the company or they seek investment. Because of that, you get to know them close up. You work with them, and in my case, I also often end up being friends with them. That's why I'm here in Dubai. I'm going to attend the wedding of a former client who then became a friend. But first, let's meet one of my older, really good friends who is randomly also in Dubai this week. Didn't have too much time to film back there at the hotel, but we had a really nice gym session and we are now headed to the Airbnb.
Alright, we're here at the Airbnb. Actually, let's take a look at the view, which is probably not the best. Well, this is not horrible. All right, now let's have a chat about why I like Dubai. Now, whether you like Dubai or not is completely irrelevant. You might even hate it, but I want to use Dubai as an example for a place that allows you to excel as a human being. If you are a person that works 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week because you're a high-performing lawyer, an investment banker, or you have a business that requires your time and attention. Now, if you're in that situation and you still want to be in extremely good shape, and on top of that, maybe you still want to maintain your social life, friends, family, girlfriend, children, whatever it might be, if you want to have all of these things in your life, you need to find a way to implement the gym into your day-to-day life as easily and as consistently as possible, because only if you are consistent in the gym, you will see this result of being this guy that is in extremely good shape. Now in Dubai, the great thing is that all of the high-rise buildings here have a gym inside the building. And I lived here for a bit. I believe I lived in the 15th floor and the gym was on the 8th floor. So it literally took me a minute to get from my apartment to the gym. And that meant that every single day when I came home from the office, I could go down, hit the gym for even just 25 minutes, quick shoulder and abs workout, or a quick triceps and chest workout, or for a quick cardio session. And it literally took just the time of the training session. Now in comparison, in Munich, it takes me 25 minutes to get to the gym. So for a 30-minute gym session, that means it's 50 minutes to go there and to go back home, plus the 30 minutes cardio. So it's an hour 30 for a 30-minute gym session. So of course, that means that I will not make it to the gym as often. And I will give you a workaround with that. So to just finish on the topic of Dubai or a similar place, if you can build a setup for you where you make it extremely easy for you to attend the gym. For example, because you sign up to a gym that is simply on your way home from work, or on your way home from the office, or right next to the office, or right next to your apartment, that is open in the evening, that is ideally also open during lunchtime and in the morning, so you can just go whenever it fits your schedule. This will make it so much easier to be consistent. Now, before we go into what to do if you don't have that setup, let's briefly touch on the topic of consistency. If you want to achieve this dream physique, if you want to be in extremely good shape, or in my case, my goal, and I am, I hate showing off, whatever, it doesn't even look that good in this light, but I'm in relatively good shape. And it is my goal to be in the best shape of my life by 55, which is in basically 20 years. However, if I am not consistent until then, it will be hard, especially as it gets harder over time. And if I want to be consistent, not over a 2-month period, but over a 20-year period, the only way to do that is by creating a setup that allows me to be consistent as easily as possible. And if you don't have this, if you're not as fortunate as some people that have a gym in their building, and if you don't have a gym right next to your office, and if you don't have a gym right next to your apartment, the next best thing is finding a way to train at home. And that's something that I show in my stories on Instagram. So if you're not following me yet, my IG is down in the description of the video. Just follow me on IG. Feel free to shoot me a DM if you have any questions. What I do is I implement these home workouts. So whenever there's a day where I simply can't make it to the gym because I cannot find the time to drive there for 25 minutes, train, and then drive back home for 25 minutes, on these days, which honestly speaking is probably at least half the week, 3 days per week, let's say. So on average, I will go to the gym 3 days a week, and I will train at home 3 days a week, and I will take 1 day off. And these 3 days that I train at home, I literally make it a 20 to 25 minute home workout routine. It's almost impossible to not have 25 minutes of your time to do that. Now, that being said, we're here in Dubai to attend a wedding. Tonight, I might see a friend. I'm not sure he's going to make it after work. And if not, I'll take you to the wedding. Maybe we can see some cool footage.
As we step this new chapter together, surrounded by love and support, let's celebrate this beautiful reunion. In the floor, you may now share your first kiss. As I open the way.
So I'm here in Dubai Mall, and this is probably the perfect place to address a topic that I've wanted to talk about and that I have been triggered to talk about, in particular here in Dubai. So one of the things that I notice time and time again, I see it a lot here with people that have a lot of money, whether they made the money themselves or they inherited it. It's almost as if society told them that if they made a lot of money, that is everything they need. And nobody really tells us that, but there is this inherent assumption that as men, if we work hard and we quote unquote make it and are financially successful, that is what is considered success in general. And we assume that for one reason or another, once the worry about being financially successful is gone, everything else will fall into place by itself. Meaning we'll automatically be happy, we'll automatically find a girl that we want to marry, and all of these things will just be perfect once we make it. But the reality that I have witnessed again and again with guys that sold their businesses that we advised on as a law firm, with friends of mine that made a lot of money, and that I see all the time here in Dubai is that people make it financially, and then usually they are at least in their mid-30s, and then the next step from there is realizing that something in their life is missing. They feel unfulfilled. Oftentimes there's some sort of depression or midlife crisis, this feeling of going for pleasure, chasing girls, but because there is an inherent lack of understanding of how social dynamics works, and there's this attempt of impressing women with money, which usually tends to attract the wrong type of women for what these guys want. It's always a matter of what do you want, right? And the other part is health and fitness. If all you do all the time is work, sit at your desk, you neglect your physicality, your physique, you neglect your nutrition, you gain weight, you don't feel fantastic in your body, that all shines through. And then comes the point where you realize you need to change, but it's a lot harder than when you were young. It's not as easy anymore. You don't have the habits, and you have to start with it. So if it is your overall goal to be in the best shape of your life when you're older, and by best shape in this case, I don't just mean physically, I also mean your health, your relationships, everything. If you want to be the full package as a man, you have to start thinking about this ahead of time. Don't neglect the other areas for the benefit of money, for the benefit of your career. There's no point in doing that.
There you have it. This is what a full day in my life as a corporate lawyer, or actually it was 2 days, looked like when I travel for business and try to maintain my health and fitness. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my next videos.